If you are a startup or a relatively new business, this is for you. We're talking about the business metrics that you should be watching to ensure future success. Hi, Trudy Bierman here, and I'm a doctoral student at Liberty University pursuing my doctorate in strategic leadership. Reachology is a trademark that I have an application in for with the government, and this presentation is being made for the Reachology Club, but I am going to share it with you. So, what are some metrics that you should be paying attention to ensure future business success? Well, we're going to look today at 4 phases of business and the 4 questions that you must answer in each phase of the business. And then how do you avoid a downturn? And a downturn is actually very natural in the business cycle, but you can avoid them. So this is going to be a presentation over a series of videos. And today we're going to talk about, first of all, the 4 phases of business. The 4 phases of business are launch, scale, maturity, and evolution. There actually is a 5th because every natural business cycle goes through a downturn, but we're going to try and avoid the downturn. So we're going to talk about the 4 active levels of business and how to avoid the downturn. And guess what, guys? This is very important because according to the Small Business Association, only 20% of businesses survive their very first year. Many businesses fail. And that is an unfortunate fact. And thankfully, my business has already celebrated its 7th year. And according to the SBA, if we meet the 7-year mark, we're probably likely to survive. So I just wanted to give you guys some handles to hold on to walk yourself through each phase of a business cycle and what are some of the questions that you really need to answer in each phase. So they're pretty much the same questions, but you need to answer them in each phase, and your answer in each phase may be very different from the phase before. We're going to talk then about phase 1, launch. And some of you have already launched. Some of you are maybe struggling in that first year. Hopefully, maybe you're beyond launch, but this will still be useful. So the 4 questions that you must answer in every single phase of the business, and of course, we're starting with launch, but these questions you're going to answer in each phase. The first one you need to do is to define success. And the definition of success is going to look different in each phase. What are the things you need to be getting right in the phase of business that you're currently in? What are the metrics of success for that phase? And what are the red flags that are going to give you a heads up that something's not right, that you need to pay attention to this particular thing or things? So let's get back to phase 1, the launch. In phase 1 of the launch, you are primarily focusing on concept viability. You may or may not enjoy some profits in this stage. That is not necessarily the ultimate success marker of phase 1 because a lot of businesses naturally go through a funding phase in phase 1. So, and that could easily be 1 to 3 years for many businesses before they actually see a break-even point. So one of it, profit may be one of your success metrics, but the very first focus of phase 1 of the launch of your business is concept viability. What does that even mean? At this point in time, this is where you're going to put your product, your service, your message out to the public, and you're testing at this point to see if they are receiving it. Are you solving a problem? This is a huge one. If you're solving a problem, that's very important. That is something people will latch on to. Of course, you do need to market, but important thing in this phase, are you solving a problem? Are you filling a need? or maybe you're even just adding to availability. So there are what they call food deserts, for example. So it's not that food is not available, but within so many miles from this restaurant or this grocery store, there's so many more miles to the very next one. If you've ever gotten on the interstate and there isn't an exit for miles and you're running low on gas, you'll know what that means. So at this point in time, you're focusing on the viability of the concept of your business that you're putting out there. So it could be that you're solving a problem. It could be that you're filling a need, or it could be that you are adding to availability. The next thing is that we need to answer these 4 questions in every phase of the business. In phase 1, launch, what is your definition of success? Now, this is going to be different for every business, for every person. What you consider success may be different to the next person, to the next business type. But there are some things that we can definitely look at in this phase. For one thing is customer feedback. Customer feedback. Are your audience, the people that you're selling to, the people that you're trying to meet the need for, are they telling you this is a winner, that this has solved their problem, that this is a godsend? That, even if you're not making any money, because as you may be a nonprofit, for example, that would be for some people a definition of success. You have proven the concept, the viability of your concept, because the people that you are reaching are telling you that this has been very helpful. This has solved their problem. Another thing that might help you or define your success is you've gotten your first sale. Whether or not it's profitable, whether or not you actually made a sale. There are so many people that will have something out there for sale and they have gone a very, very long time. They have not even made their very, very first sale, much less their first $100 in business. Maybe for you, the definition of success is engagement. So if you're trying to say create a group, that you actually have people engaging, they're showing up, they are participating. So the definition of success is actually going to look different for everybody, but those might be some things. You have to define your success for you to know if you are successful, okay? What are some things that you must get right in this phase? Again, there will be a variety of things, but there's some things that we could look for. Are you reaching the right audience? Are you targeting the right people? There is a story out there of a father who gave his child a car. It was an old beat up car. And he told his son, take the car to the junkyard and see, these people who will trade cars. And they wanted to give him like $300 just for the metal value of the car. Then he said, take it to a car dealership and they would do a trade-in and they would give him a little bit more because they want him to buy a car from them. And then he said, take it to this antique dealer, and the antique dealer was offering, hundreds of thousands of dollars for this dilapidated, beat up, rusty vehicle. So at this phase, the get it right phase is, are you targeting the right people? Have you broken even? These are some things that you need. Do you know what your costs are? These are some things you have to get. Do you know what your costs are? Do you know all of the expenses that go into your product? These are some things you must get right, because if you are not pricing your product properly, you're going to put yourself out of business, even if you're making a lot of sales. So these are some things that you must get right. Maybe you are having to identify the best location, especially let's say you have a food truck. What's the point of parking it, where there's no people? So there's some things that you just must get right. And this is going to be unique for your business again. But what are some of the success metrics? Some of them have come out of what I've already said. So maybe you have broken even. Maybe you have, maybe you're looking at numbers like how many subscriptions you've signed up, how many orders you've gotten, have you made any revenue? Are you getting any media attention? What are the metrics that are going to matter to your business? And then last but not least, the red flags. Red flags do exist in launch in phase one, because remember, the SBA already pointed out that many businesses never make it to year two. So what are some of the red flags? Again, if you've not made your first sale, are you competing on cost? Then are you the lowest cost? If you're not the lowest cost in the marketplace, then have you created your unique sales position? Otherwise, you will be eaten up for lunch by the people who are doing the same thing you're doing at a lower price, if you have not created a blue ocean strategy for why yours costs that much more. Have your statistics that, a lot of places, like there is a local business that just opened up a storefront by me, and in their initial launch, when they first opened their doors, they had a flood of people coming in. But I've been driving by because my gym is very nearby, and every time I look in, the place is empty. So I went in and I asked the gentleman, how is business? And he said it's slowed down a lot. And so, that is a red flag. So if you launched and, after your initial family and friends have supported you, and then you've run out of new people, that is a red flag. So that is phase one. Join me in the next video. We'll talk about